This voiceover PowerPoint meets the requirement for the Rock Valley College Nursing Assistant Information Session. I am Cheryl Swanson, full-time associate professor and chair for the Nursing Assistant program. I started teaching in the program as an adjunct instructor and taught for the evening session for almost 10 years. In 2008, I accepted the full-time position as the chair for the program. A little history. In 1987, a federal law, the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act, went into place. It stated that nursing centers are required to provide care in a manner and in a setting that maintains or improves each person's quality of life, health, and safety. It also addressed resident rights as well as setting minimum requirements for nursing assistant training and evaluation. We moved into the new Health Science Center in August of 2017. So let's get started. First, you need to complete an enrollment form for Rock Valley College. You can then apply for financial aid and scholarships. I've listed out the website and the phone number. You also need to take a placement test. This is also called AccuPlacer. You can also submit your ACT or SAT scores or other college transcripts. Then I would suggest attending a Tech Connect session. This will help you to learn more about the Eagle technology, information about how to access your course, your grades, the PowerPoints, announcements, emails, everything that you would need to do for a course. And I've listed out the website and the phone number for you. I would also suggest that you meet with an academic advisor. Her name is Amanda Lonsway. She's in our Health Science Center up on the 3rd floor. I've also listed out her email address. If you have not met with an advisor, I would suggest contacting Amanda. She works with all of our health career students, and she's very helpful in making sure that you stay on path, making sure that you're taking the classes that you need to take and in the sequence and so forth, so you can ultimately complete your associate degree here at Rock Valley College. Now, a little bit about the prerequisites for our nursing assistant program. Remember I mentioned about the AccuPlacer. We do require a certain reading and math scores. So you will need to contact the testing center. I've listed out the phone number there so that you can take that AccuPlacer. The other prerequisite is what you're attending today, and that is the mandatory admission prerequisite session. If you do not listen to the PowerPoint and follow through on all those steps, you will not be able to register for our nursing assistant course. So a little bit now about our program. The first thing is that for you to be able to register for the nursing assistant course, you do need to have a healthcare worker background check done. So we'll initiate that by you contacting Amanda Lonsway. Fill out a form. She then can print out what they call a live scan form, and then you can go and get your fingerprinting done. Once we get those results, then you can proceed. So if there are any offenses that would disqualify you from seeking employment as a CNA, you would then need to obtain a waiver. So as I said, we need to complete this healthcare worker background check. Contact Amanda Lonsway to get the process started. When you go to get fingerprinted, there are a couple different sites that you can go to, and Amanda will give you that information. You do need to take a valid social security number and take with you a photo ID. This can be your driver's license, state ID, or a passport. The cost is somewhere in the ballpark of $33.70 as at Accurate Biometrics, or it might be up to $35 or so at another place. So as I said, what does that mean to you? Once you have contacted Amanda, if you think that you've had a FIAP done, she can look you up in the system. She can then let you know if it's the correct background check, because there's lots of them out there. And then we can go from there. As I said before with the results, if you have a disqualifying offense, you will need to apply for a waiver, and then you may register for the nursing assistant program. So now a little bit about our program, specifically related to that. We have several policies and procedures in place. I've listed out just a few of them. One of them is the admission essential abilities. This talks about your ability to listen, to hear, to follow directions, to communicate. So it is imperative that you are able to speak and understand the English language. Physical health requirements, you do need to have a physical. It's a very basic physical, but what we are looking for is no lifting restrictions. We cannot have you in the program if you have those restrictions. We have decreased lifting in the healthcare, but there's always some lifting, so we want to protect you and keep you safe. The grade standards, it might be a little bit different for you. Our percent for our course is 80% to pass that course. So you must maintain and complete that course with an 80%, which is equivalent to 480 points. And in our program, we do go by points. And again, we would go over that further with you once you are in the course. But some of you might be used to passing a class with 70% or 75%. But here in our program, it is 80%. Attendance is the other policy. Repeated absence in excess of 8 hours or repeated tardiness in excess of 60 minutes is reason for withdrawal from the nursing assistant program. We mirror our policy to facilities in healthcare because healthcare, they do not tolerate tardiness or absenteeism. So we're preparing you for that role as a professional. In our program here in the state of Illinois, it is required you to complete 120 hours. That means 80 hours of theory and 40 hours of clinical. When you are getting ready to not only register for our class, but any other classes, make sure that you allow time for travel. This is imperative. You've got to have time to go from the home to the clinical site to Rock Valley. You've got to have that time to travel. And I cannot guarantee that you will be out as scheduled. We're caring for people. Sometimes you will be right in the middle of caring for a resident or a patient. You have to complete that task before you can leave. So you may not leave on time. The textbook is the Mosby's Essentials for Nursing Assistants. It's the 6th edition. It is required that you purchase the textbook. You can get that in our Rock Valley College bookstore. The workbook is optional. It is up to you whether you want to use that or not. For our clinical lab, you're going to be learning skills, so you'll be competencied in those skills, and that is on a pass-fail. Once you as a student has successfully completed the training program in Illinois, you are now eligible to sit for the competency exam. All students are to be competent to demonstrate the performance skills listed on the clinical skills checklist, and we would provide that for you. All the instructors are aware of those skills and will be competencing you in those skills as a prerequisite for passing the course and eligible to take the certification exam. Let me tell you, you cannot pass one area and not pass the other two. You have to pass all three: theory, lab, and clinical. The state competency exam, currently the cost is $75. You can then choose whether you want to do the paper-based test or a computer-based test. A lot of our students have been leaning towards that computer-based testing. Rock Valley College does offer the paper-based test, and but currently we do not have the computer-based testing. You would have to travel to Highland Community College in Freeport or Kishwaukee Community College down by DeKalb. But those are pretty easy to get to, about 45-50 minutes. And as I said, the computer-based testing, you can test fairly quickly after completing the course. The paper-based, you do have to wait about 4 weeks. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. I gave you my email address at the very beginning, s.swanson@rockvalleycollege.edu. You can also reach out to Amanda Lonsway. And thank you very much for coming and showing interest in the nursing assistant program.